Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you. Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for joining this session. So this is where we're going to review the CV for today. But one thing I want to quickly say, when I went through the CV, I just need to say that I'm really impressed with what we now have right now. I think it's been now improved since what we've started. I think it's looking good. Actually, I can see a lot of CV that are kind of very much ready for them to be sent out. So well done, everyone that have kind of put that effort on those. I think we've done 3 or 4 CV reviews, and those CV have now kind of improved as we go along anyway. So well done for everyone. Another thing that I want to say quickly is the job that you're applying for also is very important. So if you have some CVs, if you have a CV, right, and you got only 3 months on your CV, right? So of course you need to look at CV roles that you need to apply for. So that would be like a junior role anyway. So you need to look into that. So, but if you have 3 years on your CV, right? If you do other role before and you've been able to kind of, I don't know what you've done anyway, but if you have like 3 years on your CV, then of course you have more possibilities on the role that you can apply for anyway. So, and also in terms of salary or rate, also that also would be more anyway. So that's one I can say. Okay, quickly for the cybersecurity, someone is asking for about cybersecurity. If you are still here, I think this already been sent out. Okay, check on the general platform. I think the link is there. They're already in the program. Let me know if you're able to see it. The link is already out anyway. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now, going back to where we are. Yeah. So if you have 0 to 2 years on your CV, you'll be looking around maybe from 15,000 to 30,000 salary, I would say. So if you have from 2 to 5 years on your CV, you'll be looking around maybe 30 to maybe 50 or 60,000 on your CV. And if you have above 5 years, I think, the sky is no longer the limit. You can negotiate and get anything that you want to get. I just need to quickly pass that across. So because I can see these, most of the CV are okay, just to let you know what you need to apply for. But to be honest, even if you see a role says they need 10 years experience, even if you have 5 years or 3 years experience, that doesn't mean you should not apply for those roles. The worst that can happen is they say no anyway. So yeah. Okay, and sometimes when they say no, they still keep your CV in case there's any job that fits that profile, they would send it to you anyway. Okay. All right. So I would go through the CV now in order of, I'm going to use email addresses anyway for that. So I'm going to be starting with people with A as the starting point of the email address. Then we'll go through that from there. So the first person I'm reviewing the CV, the email starts with A. So I'll go with that B, C, D up to the last one anyway. So so as I'm going through the CV, I'm still on A, I'm still on B. You can know where your CV will be reviewed anyway. So this first person, your email starts with A and ends with O at gmail.com, right? Starting with A, ends with O at gmail.com. Your telephone number ends with 276 and your postcode ends with 9NU. So for me, right, even though this CV looks good, it looks okay anyway. So, but one thing I want to say, the first thing, I don't know about the red. I would say that I won't use red on the CV. Maybe blue or green, to be honest, is okay. So if you can tone down that, is okay. So another thing also, the margin on the right and the left, if you can increase those or reduce the margin anyway, so that your front page has got everything up to your experience, and your experience starts from page 2. That would be good anyway. So, but what you've done is good. I think it's really, really good anyway. So well done for that. So then, so on the rows, so instead of saying on the first row that you got in there, right? Yeah. Okay, all right. So instead of saying roles, that I would say responsibilities, but roles is still okay anyway, but responsibility I would say better. So I like what you put in there. It's really, really good. And also you put some metrics as well, which I think is really, really fine. Then the only thing I want to say is I'm not sure about the second row, right? So that might put some people off. I don't think you need that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can give that a try, because with that, because it seems, oh, this person is working towards that before, and they kind of, yeah. So you can tone down that, maybe just call it researcher. Do you get it now? Instead of, yeah. So I leave out the rest anyway. So, and as a researcher, right, you also going to be working with data anyway. So you will say researcher, data researcher, something like that. So, and you now work about that in terms of data related. Do you get it now? So that's what I can say on that one. So, and yeah, so I think, yeah, the rest you might also need to look into that. But except from that, I think you are okay. So if you can make those corrections, is looking good anyway. Yeah. So the next person, your email starts with a. Your email starts with A and ends with e@gmail.com. Your telephone number ends with 749, and us, you don't have telephone number here, but your okay, you got telephone number 749 ends with 749, and your postcode ends with 3SR, 3SR, data analyst. Okay, so I think, yeah, so the profile page looks okay. Yeah, another thing, I'm not sure that I've said it before, there is soft skill. I'm not sure about hard skill. I don't know what that is. Instead of saying hard skills, I would say put it as what I can see here, put it as technical skills, isn't it? Instead of hard skills, I don't know, technical skills instead anyway. So yeah, then professional experience. You still need a bit of work on this one because you only put one line. I think I said this before, right? That you expand this. Yeah. So you still need to kind of, yeah, you only put, okay. So the next person, it's now D. The email starting with D. Your email starts with D and ends with 395@gmail.com. I'm not. I'm not sure I've reviewed this one before, but the email address looks long. It's actually long. If you can get a shorter one, it will be good actually, so that people don't start typing your email address and they mix one letter, or do you get or one alphabet, and then the email doesn't get to you. But yeah, if you can look into that, yeah. And also your first name, actually, I think you put a long one in there. I would say if the four letter at the beginning of your four letter should be fine. So you just make it easy for people to call you. Perhaps maybe that's what people also call you anyway. And do you get it now? So the first letters should be fine. You leave the rest. I think you should be okay. But yeah, and when you go to your technical skills, there is a bullet point without anything. So remove that anyway. So, and yeah, when I was going through this CV, I kind of like it anyway, except from a bit of, yeah, formatting anyway. So first, technical skill, remove the first bullet point, nothing is there. And also on browser, remove that point as well. So one thing that you could also do is all these technical skills, make them into columns, right? Maybe 2 columns. So by doing that, you'll be able to bring the education back up anyway, so that your career starts in second page at the beginning anyway. So let everything with education and the likes be in the first page. So you can put the soft skills in 2 columns, put the the other development, database and the rest, put them also in 2 columns, so that they create space for you to bring the education and the training in anyway. So another thing, okay. Yeah, aside from that, I think it looks good anyway. So if I was to add anything, I say, to be honest, you're really ready, so you can start sending it. So if I was to say you should put anything, is all the roles that you've got, maybe you should put the tools that you use on all those roles in there. At the beginning, as I think, for instance, when you work closely with blah blah, at the end of that, you can put tools, and then you put the tools that you worked on. That you go to the next responsibility as well, you put that. So at the end, you put project. I don't really know, because I don't think you need that again, because of how you've kind of structure your CV. You don't need this project that you put there. You need the project for that particular workplace, right? So unless you are saying that's the project for the workplace, yeah, it's fine anyway. So the tools, you can bring those tools at the top, right? So the tools that you put at the end, you can put them at the top. On Zoom, I really don't know that, yeah, you need that in there, to be honest. If you already put Microsoft Teams, it's okay, to be honest. I have some companies use Zoom anyway, but I don't think it's something I want to put on CV, but that's okay. Okay, all right, cool. Going to the next person. So your email address starts with D and ends with I. So I@gmail.com, ends with I@gmail.com. Your telephone number ends with 810, and your postcode ends with 5XE. So I like the fact that, okay, you've already put the postcode. Nationality, you put Nigeria. So, and you now put authorization to work in the UK, do not require authorization permit. Yeah, so with that, I think I would say just remove nationality. That will not do anything, to be honest. So, because with nationality, you say, oh, maybe this person require work permit. So I like the fact that you put authorization to work in the UK, do not require work authorization or permit, which is good. Just remove the nationality anyway. So that's fine. So I think you're okay. So, and on technical skills, right? Yeah, you also got a bullet point at the top without anything. Remove that. So, and if you are going to separate all those technical skills into categories, so maybe you need to broaden a, like, for instance, life cycle, blah blah. So, and the next one, you just put a subheading on each one of them. Like, for instance, language and IDE is another heading or category. So, but it doesn't have to, you don't need to put it inside a bullet point anyway. So you just need to remove that, make it a subtitle anyway. So, and the API web, and you need to have a subtitle for those ones as well. And I can say that also maybe put them in bullet point, sorry, in, you put all these technical skills in columns so that your profile is on one page. Then you now have the Blue Sky starting. Yeah. And then also, because you have Blue Sky as experience, I would say you don't need to put Blue Sky as education, to be honest. So remove Blue Sky as education, just put it, leave it as experience. Okay, that's fine. So, and so I think, yeah, except from that, you still have a lot to do on this one. Yeah, you had a professional job anyway, so you need to work on that one anyway. So that's one thing I can say. So, okay. So the next person, the email address starting with D and ends with s@gmail.com. Email starting with D, ends with s@gmail.com. Your postcode ends with I, or is it 1G3? No, sorry. Ends with 9NF, right? Anyway, sorry, 9NF. And your telephone number ends with 765. I like the fact that you put nationality British, which is good, actually, which is brilliant. So, and your profile, I'm not sure. So, yeah, this is not, let me open this in Word, actually. So, download this, and because it seems the bullet points is actually appearing in a different way. Okay, it looks okay. All right, I think maybe it's the view, maybe the other guys as well. Sorry, apologies. Maybe it's the view I'm actually using, because this one looks okay. So sorry if I've asked you to put in columns. You've already done it, don't worry. So that's fine. So because this one looks okay for me, but in the view that it was before, it doesn't look that good. But yeah, so this one is fine. So you can bring the education to the top, okay? The education to the top, so that your experience starts on the first line. So, but aside from that, this is good. Okay, all right, that is fine. So, okay, all right. So project worked on, prep major, you don't need to say website anyway, and you don't need to say student journey anyway. So you need to remove that anyway. So just say prep major, and if you can explain what prep major is, that's why I asked you guys to do project mandate anyway. So you can use a part of that, and so just write what prep major is anyway. So that should be fine. Yeah. So for this is, yeah, okay. Okay. All right, that's fine, because it's only like 3 months CV that you've done, so that's okay. So the next person, your email starts with G and ends with 25. Email starting with G and ends with 25 at 25@gmail.com. Your telephone number ends with 999. Your postcode ends with 3DD. 3DD. Okay. All right. So that is fine. if you could, right, your profile, if you can put them into paragraphs or 3, right? So it seems that I think that like maybe 3 or 4 on 1, 2, 3, 4. So just make it like two paragraphs, I would say anyway. So maybe it might just be as simple as removing, just bring one of them up, or 2 ups, and remove the enter, change them to 2 paragraphs. That would be good anyway. So if you can do that, But I think, I went through this CV. I kind of like it anyway, so it looks good to me, to be honest. You can start sending them out. So so I think it's brilliant anyway. So, and you put the project is there, and also the tools and everything. So which is brilliant. Okay. All right. So the next person, your CV, your email address starts with G and ends with T. Starts with G and ends with T at gmail.com. So G and ends with T at gmail.com. Your telephone number ends with 017017, and your postcode ends with 1BT. So 1 minute. Okay. All right, cool. This is also a good one, to be honest. So this is also a fantastic one. It's really improved. So I'm not sure that is the format. So the experience from our own end, experience starts on page 1. So if you can just move it down, that would be good anyway. So I think this is good, but I was really enjoying it until when I get to responsibility. You need to work on the responsibilities. You just put test planning, you need to make it wordy, okay? Talk about, creating, developing, developing, test planning, using. So that's the techniques that I need to use. Keywords, developing, creating, maintaining, all those words, right? Then what are you doing? What is the now, right? Developing, test planning, right? Okay, what tool did you use? Using blah, blah, blah. So that is the approach I want you guys to use. Don't just say, oh, the test design and documentation. What's that anyway? What did you do with that? What tool did you use for? So you need to work on that responsibility, if that's fine. I like the fact that you put the project, that's fine, and the tools that you've used. So do that for all the ones as well, if that's fine. So I think that's okay. Okay, the next person. Okay. Yes.
Are you showing anything on the screen? I can only see CV creation, review, job. That's the only thing I can see on your screen.
1 minute. I'm not showing anyone's CV.
Okay.
I just put this in there, so I'm not showing anyone's CV.
I just want to be sure I'm following you.
So that's why I'm putting those things that only the person that is got those data will know actually. So of course, it's not good to share people's CV so that people can copy it.
I just want to be sure I'm on the same page with you, no problem.
Yeah, okay. So the next person, I'm now on I. The next person, your CV, your email address starts with I and ends with 22 at yahoo.com. So, and it starts with I and ends with 22 at yahoo.com. And your telephone number ends with 103. So, okay, and the profile looks good actually, so which I think is really on point. And the employment, I would actually kind of, when I was looking at the CV, I would start with the company first, right? Like the name of the company, the dates that you work on the company, and the role, right? I guess this is a peculiar one, actually, which is like, okay, training, blah, blah, blah. So I would use that consultant at the top and say, okay, consultant and the date, and also the name of the company. If you can, I think it might also be good to say, okay, from so time to so time. But to be honest, I would rather just use one of them or two, right? Rather than putting all of them like that, because then it means that, oh, within this short distance of time, you work for this company, what is that? So I would say use the US one and the Philip one too, and remove the rest actually, which I think will be better. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, so, and okay, another thing that I would also say, instead of saying duties, right, I would say responsibilities, right? Responsibilities, that would be fine. So, and so I think, yeah, I like all those who are facilitated, but also if you are looking at the same role like the other one anyway, so which I think is okay. So moving to the next row, the one with the bank anyway. So one thing, if you are looking for role that is remote, not in Nigeria, so I would say remove, just say blah blah bank without Nigeria limited and without the location. That doesn't require, so just put the name of the bank and remove the Nigeria limited and also remove where it is, and that's it. And then, so, and you don't need to say position, just put, application or database administrator and blah, blah. So that's that. Then responsibility, blah, okay, which I think is fine. So you just change that duty to responsibilities, and so, and that is okay. The same thing applies to this, but the bank and the next row, I would kind of move them across. Instead of starting with the date and the name of the company, I will start with the name of the company first and then date, right? So, and then your row, right? So with that, the name starts first anyway, if that's okay. Okay, so, and okay.
That's my own.
Okay, all right. So, and also, the same thing applies to the other ones as well. So the other bank as well. So you can also change that. So, but the responsibility as well, you need to change it as well to, instead of duty, to responsibilities. And I think you can move those across, but it's got a lot inside anyway. There are a lot of meat inside the responsibility that you put in there. So I think if you just kind of do this little tweak, I think it will really be good anyway. So okay. All right, cool. So the next one, your email address starts with I. Your email address starts with I, and it ends with T. t@gmail.com. Start with I, ends with t@gmail.com. Your telephone number ends with 031. So one thing that, okay, 1 minute. So you've put, right to work in the UK, right? I think you just need to, because that doesn't make any meaning to me. So normally I would just say authorization to work in the UK, do not require any permit or something, but right to work in the UK, I don't know, if you want to rephrase that to mean that, I have right to work in the UK, so I do not require work permit anyways. So I like how you started that I am a bilingual business analyst, which I think is really good. So, and if you actually say so, and you could also just put the second language that you are frequent on in that aspect, okay, in French and English, and you get it now. So that will really be good. So then when you say you need to work on this profile, actually, there's some punctuation. For instance, it said, and customer. So customer should be lowercase c anyway, and customer experience management. So there's no full stop, there's nothing in there. I think there should be full stop. I work with cross, so then blah blah, and team player, immediately there should be comma, not space, then comma. You need to work on those ones anyway. So then IT skill looks okay. So if you can delete the third column, actually that doesn't make any, you don't need that anyway. So I think what you put in there is okay. So the soft skills, I would rather say maybe you don't need them in capital letters. Do you get it now? As I mean, the skills itself and the soft skills, you don't need them in capital letter. It would be good to put them in lowercase anyway, instead of in capital letter and underline. So if you can drop the underline and also drop the capital letter, so that would be good anyway. So, okay. And yes, okay. Experience, there's a line after the experience. I don't know what that is for. So experience, you want to write the name of the company, right? First, the name of the company before. I like the fact that you kind of put the description of the company, which I think is good, right? So, but the name of the company is missing. So when you put the name of the company, then you can now put the dates actually after the company. So if do that before the description of the company. So, and I think you can still do more with the responsibility. Okay, you've added a few ones. I think you can add a few more anyway. So, but there's also one space before the last responsibility on that one. So if you can, expand, if you can remove that, or add maybe 2 or 3 more. So, but this is good anyway. This is brilliant. Well done. So, and the skills and the projects and the tools, which is good. And also in terms of the tool, Azure is wrongly spelled. I think you put AD instead of Azure. Okay. So, and so the next row, the same thing. I don't even know the name of the company. So, so you need to put the name of the company before the dates and like that anyway. So, so if you do that, I think you are kind of okay anyway. But another thing that I want to also say about your CV is it actually ends in January 2023. So the question is like, what do you do from January 2023 to now anyway? So you need to look into that. Okay. So the next person, your email address starts with I and ends with s@gmail.com. Email address starts with I and ends with s@gmail.com. It's also your telephone number ends with 270. Okay. And this one is brilliant, to be honest. This one is really brilliant. I can say you are ready, to be honest. So I think you should start sending this one out. Anyway, this is brilliant, actually. So well done for that. It fits into what I'm looking for. Yeah. And yeah, discussion about the project, achievement, the team. Yeah, this is good anyway. So the only thing, if I want to kind of be critical about it, is like, so the name of the company, right? I really don't know what the IT services and IT consultant is for. If you want to talk about the or describe the company, maybe you should do it at the bottom. Yeah. So if you move to the second company, right? So because sometimes, yeah, like for instance, when you go to the second company, I really don't know if that is a company or not. It didn't actually bring it out. Do you get it now? That's what I think is missing. Yeah. Anyway, you want to be able to the recruiter know this is a company, right? It's not a technology or something like that. So with that, yeah, if you can just say the name of the company there, remove what you put in the middle, IT, agile, project management company, remove that. Do you get it now? And now you can now on the next line before the tools, you can now say, oh, Trade, blah, 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 is a agile management company that does, yeah, you get it now. So it's then I think is okay. I would rather put the IT business analyst in the middle where you are as your role, right? So it becomes the name of the company, your role, and then the date. So then if you want to talk about the company, you put in the next line, okay? Except for, I think you do the same thing for the other ones as well. Except from that, I think this one also is ready, well done. Yeah. So then the next person, your email address starts with J, starts with J and ends with 4050 at yahoo.com, 4050 at yahoo.com. So one thing is that email address looks so long. It's got 3 names in there, so it's very long. And also even your name at the top is, yeah, I think 2 names is okay. Your first name and your last name should be fine. So just if you want to do that, yeah. And also, okay, all right, that's fine. So I would rather, if you can, right, if you can, so on the header, right, because it's actually breaking some of the things that you put in there. Maybe you should put the header, and you should not use columns in the header, okay? So that everything flows. For instance, your LinkedIn profile is cut off, your postal address is also kind of in 2 lines. So if you use one columns, maybe it might be better for your functionality. Everything is kind of dropped in the next line. So I think it's okay to use one column for this one anyway. So yeah, I think the profile, yeah, I'm a member of blah 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 blah. I don't think that is necessary for your work, to be honest. So so I don't think you need that anyway. So I think I will say maybe remove that. So because your profile should be something that, yeah, you want to brag about. I don't think that's related to your work or something anyway. So, okay. All right. So I think, yeah, you still need a bit of work. You said responsibilities. I don't know. So what I can say is like there's a video I did on how to create responsibilities, right? So what's that video? If you don't know, oh yeah, speak to any of the admins anyway. So yeah, okay. The next person, your email starts with K. Your email starts with K and ends with 2001 at yahoo.com, right? And okay, I'm not sure what happened to this CV. It's just, yeah, it's not displaying properly. Yeah, you need to work on that anyway. So there's some, yeah, the profile page is distorted anyway. So there's still a bit of work on that aspect. The profile page is really not great. So in terms of that, so then after that, I think what I can read after the profile page looks okay. So okay, objective, technical skills. I think the technical skills should be more than that anyway. So I key, yeah. Yeah, I rather prefer that you summarize what you put in this after everything that you put in your key skills and competence. Okay. I think summarize them, maybe put them in bullet points anyway, so that it's not that long. It seems long now anyway. So talking about the experience, yeah. So this is where I want you to do more work and put long things where you are not putting the roles or your responsibility. So you need to expand those ones anyway. So providing the training job, and yeah, so I think you can still do more on that responsibilities anyway. So yeah, but I think it's looking good. You just need a little more effort, and this will be good. Well done, and yeah. So the next person, your email starts with M and ends with R at yahoo.com. Your email starts with M and ends with R at yahoo.com. So, and your telephone number ends with 527 and your postcode ends with 1FN. So, yeah. So the summary is okay. This is kind of a punchy one anyway. So one thing I can say is I will say you should bring your skills, tools, education to the top, right? And your certification, you can bring them to the top. Then experience, we can start experience on the second page, okay? So I like the layout is good anyway. So you talk about, yeah, data analyst, that is fine. So, and if you can put the tools as well, so that what tool did you use on each of your roles, that will be fine. Add the roles, add the tools as well. So in each of the roles, I know you've already added at the top, at the bottom, which you are going to bring to the top. But for each of the roles, put the tools as well. Okay. All right. So, and the next one. Okay, okay. The email starts with O and ends with E at gmail.com. Your telephone number ends with 487 and your postcode ends with 4BB. So this is a BA. Okay. Yeah, this still need a bit of work, a lot of work, I would say. So I think the first thing you need to look at for a different template, actually, because one thing I can see here is that, yeah, you've got DA, instructor, 2 columns. I really don't get it anyway. So this doesn't look good to me anyway. So you might, yeah, I think you need to redo this once, then we can look at it later. Yeah, get a new template, and so that we can, yeah, get a new template and redo that. So this next person, your email starts with O and ends with 10 at yahoo.co.uk, and your telephone number ends with 771, and your postcode ends with 1HY. For this one, You can see where you have the profile. Yeah. So I think the first line, the line before the profile, I think you can remove it. Yeah. The first line, you can remove it anyway. So if that's okay. So okay, so one thing I can say is for you now, so in terms of internship, right? So I don't think you need to put it as internship anyway. So just say, oh, the name of the company, yeah, Blue Sky, and your role is a project planner, and from this blah blah job delivery, change the job delivery to responsibilities. Okay, technical skills, you put that, soft skills, you put that, and that's fine. Then the other roles, yeah, I think it can do more on the job responsibility. I think, yeah, you don't need to worry for now. So as you go through the program, you can start putting more on those job responsibility, or just Google for what a project planner does, or Google for, and you can also use ChatGPT anyway to get this one, responsibility of a project planner. I think that's another thing that anyone that is struggling with their responsibilities, you can use ChatGPT and just put in there, and you would actually bring some responsibility for you to use as well in your CV. Okay, the next person, your email address starts with O and ends with is@gmail.com. So your telephone number ends with 542. And yeah, okay. Okay, this is in Spain anyway. So okay, I think the person will, yeah. Okay, all right, cool. One thing I can say, your email address, I don't think you need to put it in capital letter. I would rather put it in lowercase anyway, if that's fine. Okay. I don't know, open to whether you need those. I don't know whether that's how you guys do yours in where you are. But for me, I would, yeah, maybe put that. I don't know whether you need that anyway. So another thing is the profile. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that you need that PhD, blah, blah, in progress anyway. So, but let's see, yeah, if that would not make some people to kind of, yeah, is this person really into work or something like that? So, but yeah, let's see if you send it out and see what recruiter will say. But okay. All right, education, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. So I think it's, yeah, look into it anyway. Let's see. Okay. So, and yeah. So I think you've kind of put a lot on the on this one, which I think is making it rich. But the only thing I'm struggling if some of these things are relevant, okay, for what you're looking for. except from that, I think it's really, really great. I think what you've actually put in there. So, so the next one after the blue sky looks okay, but one thing I can say is in terms of the blue sky, you didn't put the projects, you need to put the project as well. So if that's fine, add the projects, then you've added the tools, which is fine. And then the next row, I don't know what that is for, so there's no title. So if you can adapt the row to suit into BA row, that would be really excellent. So instead of just putting like that, yeah, community growth, blah, blah, management, marketing research, because yeah, as a BA, you might also need to do market research and competitor analysis, blah, blah. So yeah, so to be honest, yeah. So that's one that thing that you need to look into anyway. Yeah. Project-based writing, which is what a BA will write, pitches, overviews, yeah, all those things. I think you just need to kind of, yeah, tweak it anyway to meet what you're looking for. Okay. All right, the next person, I've got a few more minutes. I've got like 4 remaining. So quickly, I'll just do them anyway. So, oh, okay. All right, so this particular person, your email starts with O and ends with 880@gmail.com. Your telephone number ends with 535 and your postcode ends with 8RW. So to be honest, for me, I really don't like yeah, columns, yeah, this format of CV anyway. So, but if you can get a better one, please do, right? So I will just quickly look into that. So the soft skills and technical skills looks okay. So then education. So, and when you say keyword software tester, you don't need to put intent, okay? Just say keyword software tester, that should be fine. And you can still add more roles, okay? And also the tools for that particular role and the project that you worked on to get it now. So I think you need to add, yeah, you can still add more responsibility on that one anyway. So I think the rest I will skip for now because they are not IT based. So the next person, your email starts with, I don't know why this, yeah, okay, maybe this is in the email that you submitted is different. Your email starts with B and ends with L. Your email starts with B and ends with L at outlook.com. And your telephone number ends with 500 and your postcode ends with 2HX. So for these technical skills, so you still need to work on the technical skills. There's some in bold, which I think because of subtitle, which is fine. So what about the one at the top? Yeah, you need to be consistent anyway. So that's what I can say. So maybe the one at the top you want to talk about, maybe it's a browser and also put that in bold or something like that. So but it's okay anyway. So experience. Okay, that's good. If you can expand that responsibility, that would be good anyway. Just expand the responsibility. So going on. Yeah, just work more on the responsibility and also look at the dates as well. So I think the date is still all over the place, right? So yeah, it has to, you have to start with most recent job, then on and on to the bottom, if that's okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. The next person. The next person, your email address starts with S and ends with R. Email address starting with S and ends with R at hotmail.co.uk. So I think this is looking good actually. So okay. Okay. Okay, so one thing I can say before you go to your experience or your work history, as you put it, so I would say that you should actually put the tools that you've used. Let me see if you have it anywhere. Okay, technical skills at the bottom, right? So I would say maybe you should bring them to the top, right? So if that's fine, and your education at the top as well. So yeah, and the citizenship actually, so you can, so to be honest, I don't think you need Nigerian citizenship anyway. So you just say citizenship British. I think you can put it at the top instead of putting at the bottom, right? So put it at the top, right? So okay, so if that's okay, then that will put your work history down. Yeah. So I think it's fine. So one thing I don't see, yeah, okay, I can see the name of the company. It's kind of, this is not how I would have done it. I would say, yeah, the name of the company first, then your role second, and then the date, right? So a blah blah, right? Data analyst, yeah. Then follow January, blah blah blah, like that. Anyway, so that's what I would put anyway. The name of the company, the role, and the date on the same line, like that. Then follow by that at the next line, then you would, if you can, yeah, have one or two lines. I'll say maybe 3 lines anyway, talking about what the company does, because it's also very important. Then also after that, yeah, your responsibilities, which I think you kind of explain. Instead of saying I would not use I. You get, I like the first one, conducted, exploratory, blah blah, build, blah blah blah, which is fine. Write complex, blah blah blah, build that. So then you now went instead of saying that, you say ensured and like that, collaborated and conducted. Yeah, remove the I if that's okay. So then the next one, if you can, yeah, the next row, change that also, like I said, name of the company first, the row and the dates, and also, yeah, which I think is fine. Except from that, yeah, okay. The next one, right, you need all these I think you can remove them anyway. So, but it seems your CV is good. If you just made those changes, I think you are good anyway. So, and languages, right? I don't think you need that anyway, with the fact that you are even putting English, and then you now put, I don't know, to be honest, I would lose that anyway. So if that's okay. So yeah. Okay. All right, cool. So that is fine. All right, moving on. Right. So for this one now, the CV, apologies, I think I've got a few more minutes. So your email address starts with V and ends with E at gmail.com. Your telephone number ends with 723. Yeah, and okay, all right, cool. One thing in your summary, You said experience and self-motivated Scrum Master with 2 years plus. I will be silent on that one anyway. So don't, I'll just say experience and self-motivated Scrum Master with experience in, do you get it now, blah, blah, and continue with that. So if that's fine. So I like how you put your technical skills, that's fine. And the soft skills is good as well. Then also the education, blah, blah, that's fine. And then, okay, work experience, starting with that. Yes, Scrum Master, blah, blah. Okay, I'm not sure. I think you need to speak to, about the date you put in there, you need to speak to the admin anyway. So that's one thing I can say to you, right? So, okay. All right, so I think, yeah, I really don't know the name of the company, but the next one you just say associate program manager. I don't know what is that for. So, yeah, so you need to kind of, yeah, look into that. So you put also, where's the company name? Maybe that is missing as well. So except from that, I think it is, the CV looks okay. So look into that aspect. Thank you. So the last CV, right? I'm going to review. Okay. The the email starts with X and ends with 92@gmail.com, and telephone number ends with 481. All right. So one thing I can say, this looks okay, but okay, I would say maybe you need to do a little, yeah, in terms of the skills, right? I think maybe more look at, yeah, what are the technical skills that is a data analyst should have. But no, I know you've put those ones that you know, maybe look for more analytical skills. It's also good as well. Business skills, that's fine. So if you can bring all of this into one page, that would be good, so that it doesn't go to 2 pages. So I mean the skills, yeah, I think as you can see, the skills actually move to the next page. Project planning, project management skills, and then professional courses that you've done. Yeah, so if that's fine, then experience. Okay. So, like I said, SPA. So I'd rather start with the name of this institution. Yeah. So the name of the company, then the course, sorry, the role rather, the name of the company, the role, and the date in that order. Anyway. Okay, I think that is fine. Okay, the rest, I think, yeah. So the next one in the role, in the responsibility, I think it looks okay. So if you can put the tools, you've actually added some of the tools into the responsibility, which I think is brilliant, actually. So you cannot put tools and then repeat them again. It will make your CV to stand out because it's going to appear in several places, which I think is fine. So, but you didn't put the tools at the top. So let me see. So yeah, I think you need to add the tools to the top anyway. Another thing that you also need to, yeah, you see there's quality assurance, there is DA, there's F, there. So you need to, and they are kind of in between themselves. You need to agree, you need between yourself what you want to put, what you want to leave. Yeah. So that's another thing that you need to look into yourself anyway. So okay. So that is it for today. Any question from anyone? Any question? So while I'm waiting, I'll go back to the previous one I reviewed that's talked about the reference.
Good
Yeah.
evening, DG.
Good
Thank you
evening.
so very much. Yeah, I didn't hear mine, so I had sent you a private message. So I don't know whether it had already been done previously or not, but so that's why I sent you with my email address to see if because I was expecting mine to hear mine, and I didn't.
1 minute, let me check quickly. Okay, as I'm doing that, any other question from anyone? Okay, I can't find you. So I'm not sure. I can't find your.
Although I sent it in, like I submitted it to the link.